Hi.
Hey.
You're watching an episode of Deck the Hallmark. Thanks for doing that. And good news, watcher.
Free trial of Philo for an entire month.
Whoa.
Coming your way.
Wow, that's amazing. All you got to do is go to philo.tv/deckthehallmark or click the button on top of my face.
Right there. Right over
Free
there.
month.
On him.
Do it. Do it.
Right now.
Do it. Here's the episode.
This is a Bramble Jam podcast.
Hello, everyone. It's Bran, and I love Tubi Christmas movies.
I'm Dan, and I despise Tubi Christmas movies.
I'm Alonzo, and I'd love to be anywhere else. And this
It's the Deck the Hallmark podcast.
I think it was very kind of us to leave the Tubi pun to Alonzo. We all had a swing at it, and we were like, Alonzo's batting cleanup. Let's make sure he gets it.
I was getting ready to do one, and I was like, to be or not to be? I don't know.
Yeah.
it was the early Christmas present for you guys.
Exactly.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Exactly right. Hi, everybody. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. It's now officially late August.
Late
Can you
August.
believe it?
You can smell the pumpkin spices. They're getting ready to come out, coming out from hiding. Hello, it's us.
Has the pumpkin spice latte been released here in South Carolina at a temperature below 80 degrees before? It's always balmy when that thing comes out.
The way God intended, sir.
No.
If you're not drinking your pumpkin spice and also sweating, you're doing it wrong.
That's right.
In the same way that you should be carving your Halloween pumpkin while watching the first of the Countdown to Christmas movies.
That's right.
You know.
Yeah,
That's
and
right.
every
This is-
leaf still green.
This
crazy.
is how seasons work.
Yeah,
That's right.
for sure.
Right. In the
We get it.
made-for-TV Christmas world, yes.
And you were talking to us about this earlier, Alonzo, but you and Bram both, the 2001 A Space Odyssey, Thus Spake Zarathustra teaser that
Yes.
Hallmark did for Countdown to Christmas. I was in the room with Bran, and it blew him away, and I was appalled at how much he liked it.
I got chills. What can I say? It just went right into my medulla oblongata. I'm like, "Ooh, okay, yes, let's do this.
I don't know who the Hallmark voice-over guy is, but boy, did he bring it that time.
Yeah, well, and I'm sure he's thrilled to he got a different modulation to do
Yeah.
for once.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because it's usually pitched very much here, and this one is like, woo, That's
right.
Yeah. No, I loved it.
I didn't know what was going on at first. I was like, what are they playing this song for? No. That was my reaction. So
I was reading, a few weeks ago now. I read the article that came out. I think it was from Tierney Brigger. Is that?
that sounds right. Yeah. Let's go.
She wrote about Christmas in July and how it's a good ratings boy and all that good stuff. And Randy Pope's in there. Hey, Randy. Randy Pope's in this article talking about how they plan out their promotional commercials a year in advance.
Come on.
Oh, all right,
on.
Randy. All right, Randy. You mean to tell me you came up with Santa Claus on the beach a year ago?
No.
I'm not buying it, Rand.
That was last week.
To credit where it's due, I think this is the first year that they've really made it a point to try and brand Christmas in July with any remotely sort of summary images.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it took them a year.
It's true.
Bold step forward.
Yes,
But
I have been impressed with the branding over the last few months.
Well, and the Christmas in July movie they released was pretty quality. Like, it wasn't bad at all. It was pretty quality.
Yeah. I was that's given me high hopes for this year. We'll see if they get dashed or not.
I do love that you think that not only does Randy listen to our podcast, but he listens to the episodes that aren't about Hallmark movies. Randy
What the boys think about Tubi?
Yeah, Randy is in for a
Did we make a
Tubi
mistake passing
movie
on it?
review.
Keeping an eye on the competition.
That's right.
Have to.
What's
For
old
sure.
Marvista up to?
Also, Bill, hope you're doing well,
Yeah.
pal.
Oh boy, if you're still listening. Ooh.
He's listen, the GAC's not going to play it itself. You got to take a look at the competition when you're playing in the GAC, Dan.
That's right. That's true.
GAC.
Deck the GAC. We're already prepping.
Is GAC getting in on the Christmas world this year?
No,
or
I think it's gonna be a
They
year.
plan a year in advance.
You really got to lay that groundwork.
That's
you know.
right.
But I bet you'll see a lot of Mar Vista on GAC when they're ready to go there. Just a hunch.
I'm saying Candace moves over 2024.
Wow.
You heard
I love
it
that
here.
we're still making predictions.
That's right. This is after the divorce with her husband that you already.
Yeah, right. Yes.
No, I got word I was incorrect. They're doing well.
They're doing well. Good.
Okay.
Glad you cleared that up.
I'm just, does anybody find themselves nostalgic for those spots where Candace would walk from one room to another and change dresses and explain to you the difference between Hallmark Channel and Hallmark movies and mysteries? Like this was a thing that needed explaining, because I guess it did, because they made a bunch of those spots.
I mean, I had never heard of anything in 2018, and it took Brand 5 seconds to explain the difference between the two channels.
Exactly.
I was good to go. It's good
So
to go.
like Hallmark's here, like from an energy standpoint, movies and mysteries is like here.
Yeah,
Done.
Enjoy the show.
that's right.
It's like
We did it.
that's like Snoopy and Sunshine and Snoopy and Sad Times.
Snoopy and Sun Times.
Yes.
is what you said.
That's Hallmark Channel and
Yeah,
Horror
it
Movies and
is. Of
Mysteries.
course it is.
Are we wanting to talk about A Chance for Christmas?
I think everyone's wanting
the
why we're here.
first Tubi original.
Tubi original, also a Mar Vista joint, but
Yes.
Tubi had the rights. This was a Tubi. You had to go to Tubi to get this movie.
Tubi and Mar Vista met up for drinks.
Match made in heaven.
And they came up with this.
KISSING.
That's right.
And the rest is history. I actually saw on, I think it was I think I followed the Tubi, somebody from Tubi on LinkedIn. And when they announced this, the Mar Vista CEO was like so excited to be partnering with Tubi. So Mar Vista's pumped.
Yeah.
According
You know
to
what? Well,
I'll give you guys the LinkedIn scuttlebutt anytime.
There's going to be a lot of sentences that age really well from Deck to Hallmark, but you saying, I think I follow someone from Tubi on LinkedIn, maybe at the top of the list in 10 or 20 years for us to look back on and be like, he said that sentence.
I just want to say,
Like-
for anybody who finds me on LinkedIn, you'll be very confused by the follows that I have.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like,
But
wow, he's very committed to a very specific group of people. Yeah, I cover Christmas movies for a living. You got to cover your bases.
All right, whatever. I don't have a LinkedIn. You're one up on me. You got a LinkedIn, Alonzo?
I wish I could get rid of mine.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is.
It's never done a dang thing for me, but I still get friend requests all the time. I'm like,
If you say so.
Okay, let's do this. All right. A Chance for Christmas. June 18th, 2021 is when it originally dropped.
June 18th?
June 18th is
oh
when
yeah,
it
they were
dropped.
Christmas in June.
Yeah,
the Tubi
their
folks.
thing was hot.
What?
Their
Oh,
thing
yeah.
their thing was Hot Christmas. That was their.
Hot Christmas.
So they
Are we being serious?
So
right
they
now?
yes.
We're
So
not
he
making
wrote
this
up a
up.
whole thing.
Oh my
He wrote up a
gosh.
whole manifesto on LinkedIn. I'll share it with you.
A manifesto?
But hot
Stop talking.
Like the Unabomber,
Hot Christmas. I mean, yeah, Hot Christmas. It's when they dropped all of their Christmas movies that they had. They did it. Why just do July? And really, Hallmark did it too. Like the Movies and Mysteries was in June.
Hot Christmas.
Hot,
It's ridiculous.
hot Christmas.
Get your hot Christmas coming in.
It originally dropped on Tubi on June 18th, 2021 as a part of their Hot Christmas catalog. And it went a little something like this. Christina Chance is a social media influencer, and she's hoping to sign a big brand deal with Love Handles. Yes, that's the name of the company, Love Handles. In order to sign the deal, she has to do a social media takeover on the Love Handles social platforms on Christmas Eve, and those videos have to achieve over 2 million views. Her videos are life hacks that revolve around her loving husband, her 2 kiddos, and her parents, loving each other and doing life hacks together. Except it's all a lie. Her kids aren't happy, her parents are divorced, and her mom is dating the guy that everyone thinks is her husband, but he's not. So it's all fake. But no one knows that, not even the Love Handles gang. That is, until a Love Handles employee named Devin shows up unannounced on the morning of Christmas Eve. They think that he's going to be Santa Claus for later in the day, and so they're not in character at all. They're all fighting, and no one knows who this guy is. They're not in character. It's a whole thing.
Are they in character?
They're not in character,
Okay.
Dan. Do you want to do it?
No, you go for it. I feel like you're repeating yourself several times, though.
Sometimes I forget what line I'm on, and I gotta vamp until I find it. You do a thing, Dan, when you're giving your wait whats,
Yeah.
where when you're figuring out which wait what you're gonna do next, you slow down with
Yeah.
your words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called speaking in public. You don't repeat the same thing over and over again.
You
like a
Now,
dude.
y'all are being out of character now, by the way. I
Yeah.
just want to let you know.
When he sees her husband kissing her mom, he freaks out. He can't believe it's all a lie, but he sticks around to help for the day. It all ends with Santa showing up, crushing it. He's in character. And then he goes and starts putting presents under the tree, very in character. Starts cleaning the dishes. That's weird. Then they find out that they only got 450,000 hits. She blames
Womp
Devin
womp.
for throwing her off her game. They get into a big fight. She says, I wish we could just do this all over again. I would crush it. Santa looks at her with a twinkle in his eye and says, be careful what you wish for, laddie. She goes to bed and wakes up the next day. It's Christmas Eve all over again. It's a Groundhog Day, Sitch. When she realizes it's Christmas Eve, she's like, oh my gosh, I must have dreamed it. I can do better now. I know how to improve this. Then Devin shows up and he's like, man, I've had the craziest dream yesterday. And then she's like, did you have the same one me? It's a double Groundhog Day, Sitch. She pulls him aside. They both remember the entire day. They're both confused. And then Santa shows up. He remembers. That's right, everyone. Triple Groundhog Day, baby. Santa is like Christmas wishes are things that they come true. And you need to get what you need to from Christmas when you make these wishes. So good luck. Devin is like, oh my gosh, this is a gift. We can get all the engagements. It's going to be great. The next day, it all goes off the rails again. So they keep doing day after day, trying new things, trying to make the day perfect so that they can get the 2 million engagements. And in the process, Christina and Devin are really digging each other, but they keep missing the mark. They come up with another plan, and everything goes wrong. And then they're like, we need to make the perfect Christmas. So they go all out on the lights. They go all out on the tree. They do the biggest gingerbread house ever. But when the daughter sees Christina and Devin baking together, she's like, I just want to hang out with my mom and just talk to you. I don't want to just bake with you and get filmed. Her son is like, I just want to play castles with you. And she's like, we don't have time. We can do it tomorrow. We got to do this big Christmas Eve thing. Her kids just want a mom. They do get over 2 million views that day, and they think this is great news, except for the fact that my family hates me. She starts crying because they did it, but the next day it's going to be, all bad again. So what am I going to do? So her and Devin obviously drink that night and have an evening talking, and they get to know each other more. They fall asleep the next day, and it's Christmas Eve again. They spend another day talking, like, what are we going to do? How do we get out of this loop? Maybe we should just enjoy the day for what it is. Spend it with the ones that we love. The next day, Devin shows up because he loves her. She tells her daughter that they can do whatever she wants that day, and she's like, I do want to bake, but no cameras. Devin plays with a toaster with the son. They all decorate the house together, and Devin is secretly recording it all with his phone. They have a family snowball fight. Devin shows the videos that he's secretly recorded, and she's like, what did you do? We said no filming. Did you post these? And he's like, I know, but I want to. She's real mad, kicks him out. She then watches them, and she's like, this is good content. So she posts them herself, and then she goes live and tells everybody the truth about her family. The video's crushed. They get over 5 million views. Devin sees the video, and in the video, she's like, I actually am in love with another guy. He's amazing. So he shows up, and they kiss. The next morning, she wakes up like every other morning has been. She looks over, though. No one's there. I don't know why she looked over. Is it because she thought Devin was there? Maybe. She goes downstairs. There's Devin. He baked a strawberry pie because she likes strawberries. And he's like, it's Christmas morning. They kiss, and they spend Christmas Day together. And then we see Santa, and they thank him. And that, my friends, was a chance for Christmas.
We did it.
Sure did.
And then Santa disappears.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, he's Santa.
I mean, come on. He's
got
got
stuff to
things
do.
to do. Well, it's actually Christmas night, so probably.
He's got vacation to start.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
You
It's
know
a
how-
hot summer. It's a hot Christmas.
It's a hot Christmas.
He and the elves have to do a plus delta, like really go over the year and look at what worked and what didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a
They still haven't figured it out. There's still room for improvement.
rap session. They got to do.
Yes.
Let's take a quick
With
break.
a
We'll-
W.
Debrief. Yeah.
We'll take a quick break here on Deck the Hallmark. Oh boy.
I thought of something hotter than Hot Christmas.
What's that?
The Philo.
That is hot.
Philo's on fire.
It's crazy hot.
Fire with a PH.
I can't even touch my phone because I've been watching so much Philo.
But you know what? Even though Christmas in July is over, you know what's not over? Unlimited DVR for a year.
That's exactly right.
All your fave channels, BET, VH1, Hallmark, Lifetime, Up TV, Nickelodeon for the kids. You got them all for $25 a month? Are you kidding me?
It's incredible. And here's the thing. For me, Christmas in July doesn't have to end because I have them all on my DVR for another year.
All year long until
Keep
next
it
year.
going. That's exactly right. And here's the good news, everybody. Philo, get this, Dan, 25% off for 2 months. That's what they're giving our
Just
listeners.
keeps getting hotter.
25% off 2 months. All you got to do is go to philo.tv/DTH. Get your Philo on. It is hot, hot, hot.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy, indeed, Dan.
Man. Those Philo ads.
I
I love them.
I love them. Dan, are
Yeah?
you ready to break this movie
I
down?
cannot wait to break this thing
Alonzo,
down.
are you ready?
Oh, let's.
Let's start with a hot take where we share exactly how we felt about this movie. Alonzo, Tubi's first Christmas outing. Tubi comes to you. They say, Alonzo, how do we do? Should we keep doing this thing? What do you tell them? What words of wisdom do you give with your hot take?
Well, you know, so much of Christmas movies in general really kind of based on a kind of nostalgia. You know, we want to feel warm and fuzzy for the past. And this movie really brought back the 2013 Hallmark movie where the working woman is punished repeatedly for being a working woman and not being a good enough mom. And that's what we're doing here. And I couldn't believe it. There are some gags that land. There's some funny stuff. It's directed by a guy who has been in like every episode of Degrassi ever. So, you know, I have some fondness for certain things about this movie. But, oh man, when it comes down to like the woman being punished for momming wrong and spending too much time with her career, and then also for like, you know, having to apologize to the guy who, when the guy is in the wrong, that just kind of brought back to me like the worst of the old cringy movies that they don't make anymore. But someone's still making them, and now they're on Tubi.
Way God intended. I liked it. I thought it was fun. I had a lot of fun with this movie, and I thought there was a lot of genuine laughs to be had in this movie. I will say it did not stick the landing. The last
Half an hour.
sure
The last third.
it is tough. And it also just, I don't know, was it a longer movie? It felt longer.
Certainly did.
So I felt like they got groundhogging really quick, and then they groundhogged for a long time. It's really what it seemed like.
They groundhogged hard.
And listen,
It's no 12 Dates of Christmas.
no, it's no 12 Days of Christmas. I just, the whole thing for me is it's not about her, not being able to do her job and mom at the same time. It's that it takes her so long to figure out that her kids just want her to say hi without a camera every once in a while. It took a long time for her to get to that point. And there was a lot of ground hogging in the process, but there's a lot of funny things in this movie. And so overall, I had a lot of fun with this movie, but it could have been a skosh shorter, and the landing could have been a skosh cleaner.
Yeah, a skosh, you think?
Skosh.
This is tough because the first hour of this movie is zany, bonkers, nunu, and I laughed more serious, actual laughter than I probably ever have in a Hallmark movie. And also, this is my idea for a Hallmark Christmas movie, not the problems that Alonzo had with it, but the idea of, being stuck in Christmas. And I'm sure it's not my idea. It's been done 100 times, but like when people, occasionally we get that question. And so there was a lot that I really enjoyed about the first hour of this movie. And then the last half hour is just a tough watch. I did not get to the point where I was bothered by her being punished for having a career because she is just a terrible mother, and I don't know, like, and so for me, yes, you 100% can have a career and be a mom, but for her to go through this day, and this is the giant problem with this movie, like 70, for her to go through this day for 3 months and never just sit down with her son and play with him is absurd to me. Like, I was screaming at the TV, how are we still doing this? I get it. It's not fair that she's being asked to do everything and then apologize for it. But the flip side is you've not acknowledged your children as people for the whole movie. Like, they're just things you're moving around. And so it feels longer. Like, that realization should have come a lot earlier. She should not have had to apologize for having a career as well. But the landing is so unfortunate. But early on in this movie, when you're getting real Santa Claus, a double Groundhog Day, and jokes, this movie contains, of the movies we've watched that, I'm sure Netflix would not count. This movie contains the single dirtiest joke I've seen in one of these movies. and it is great. It is just perfectly executed and delivered to where it would just fly under the radar, but enough to where you're like, oh no, come on, man. and it's great. And so there's enough of it to go, you need to see this because it's actually funny and Hallmark could take some notes, but also there's enough to go, boy, this is really bad. Mar Vista's still being Mar Vista out here. So that's where I am with it.
Let's get to all the feels. Part of the show, we talk about what in this movie gave us any feels. Alonzo, any feels to be had for you?
Yeah, I mean, look, I do agree. It is very funny for quite a while and funnier than these movies tend to be. Like, this is, like, I think the only time I've seen Hallmark try for this level of sort of farcical wackiness was like Five Star Christmas last year.
Yep.
And I think this one, when it's working, is working even better. I love the ongoing, the running gag of Devin from Love Handles. It just becomes funnier every time they say it. Like the ineptness of Second Santa is pretty good. Yeah. And weirdly, I got divorce feels in that, like, they're actually talking about the repercussions of this stuff, like, I mean, y'all were previously talking about Crashing Through the Snow, which I think handles that really well. And everything's on the table and everybody's, being an adult about it and doing their best to, like, make things good for the kids. But this is one where it's like, it didn't go well and the kids are suffering from it and they're talking about it. And the movie doesn't diminish that. So I thought that was, for everything that it gets wrong, it does at least sort of acknowledge that these kids aren't just being like needy pains in the ass. Like, they've gone through something and they really need more support than they're getting.
Yeah. I agree with that.
I got just character feels.
Yeah.
I've personally never had a character grow on me more than the fake dad Steve in this movie. Early on, I was like, what is this guy about? And then by the end, I'm like, I need more Steve. I want a Steve movie. I just love. I thought it was hilarious. And just even to the point to where when they're live at the end and she's just sharing her heart and he's just like eyes on the camera, just the whole time. Everything about Steve was working for me by the end. And so kudos to that fella for just really just bringing it home in this movie. At first, couldn't do it. And by the end, I'm just like, give me all the Steve. I want a second one of these where it's just Steve's version.
You just, every time he opened his mouth, you were in stitches. You were there. I was pretty sure it's because that was you. Like, that's you. Like, you were doing, And when you figure, like, when you start to realize that Steve is A, not an actor, B, not her husband, and C, not getting paid, then he becomes very funny.
And D just wants to put up Christmas lights.
He
just wants to put them up.
Thinks this is awesome. Like, just doing this is awesome. And then he becomes a really funny character. And also, he does deliver the funniest line in the movie, and it's great. So there's a lot there that I liked. The first time that you see them in the house and her mom is sitting on Steve's lap, I could not stop laughing because I initially was like, are they trying to pass this woman off as someone who is Steve's age? Or what? Like, I didn't know what was happening, and I couldn't, like, it was a very five-star Christmas feel because all these people are like, we got to act like we're something that we're not. And then you see them in their natural habitat, And it was just so off-putting and very, very jarring and funny. I really enjoyed that scene quite a bit. The movie made me laugh. Like, it had that going for it. It was screwball funny. It really was.
Screwball funny. I love it.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break. We'll talk about the wait what's that we have with this movie. Here on Dr. Hallmark. Alonzo's on the big screen now. Sorry, everybody. I mean, I'm not sorry. You should be so lucky.
Yeah.
I'm trying to push my laptop away because I feel like I'm the giant face that invaded,
No,
YouTube.
no, nobody thinks that. All right, let's get to the wait what's. It's part of the show we talk about what in this movie made us go wait what, and I'll start with you, Alonzo.
Oh, well, you left out when you introduced the characters in the plot synopsis, it's not Christina Chance. It's Christina A. Chance. And they keep saying that over and over again. I'm like, is there a real Christina Chance who threatened to sue? Like, why are we dwelling on this initial so much?
Because you just need to give her a chance, Alonzo.
I guess she needs a chance. Boy, I have never missed I Got You, Babe, so much in my life.
Oh, boy. No kidding.
That song she keeps waking up to is the worst. Yeah. Even by the rule of fake Christmas songs that sound vaguely like another Christmas song. And then it was like after about the third time, I was like, oh God, how many times before the end of this movie are we gonna have to hear this awful thing?
It sounds like that Sia song that came out a couple years ago, Christmas Tree something or other is what it sounds. It's the knockoff
but
version
also
of that.
they-
Candy Cane Lane.
Candy Cane
maybe,
Lane,
or-
yeah. It's a knockoff of that.
They choose to use it for like a dance montage too. It's not like they just play it at the beginning. Like they
that's
play
true.
it
Yeah,
extensively throughout the movie.
We paid for it. We're
using it. That's right.
It's
I hate
Tubi, darn it.
We're economizing. It's free with ads. I hate to break it to people, but there is a fruitcake revival going on, and people are sort of you're seeing a lot of folks who are reclaiming that fruitcake doesn't have to be terrible. That it's actually quite if you make it right, it's this rich concoction of dried fruits, nuts, and booze, and who doesn't like that?
Have you ever had a good one, Bran?
I've never. I'll be honest. I've never had a fruitcake.
I've tried one time and it was disgusting, and it was years ago. So maybe I just need to write fruitcake.
But I was not aware that we were in the midst of a fruitcake revolution, which I saw live, by the way.
I saw Fruitcake Revival live, so it's weird. They both were separate.
One of them opened for. It's hard. They're very similar.
Fruitcake Fest coming.
Our friend Brian Earl did a really great Christmas Past episode all about fruitcake, and it's all about Nigella Lawson has a date cake recipe that is kick-ass. Dave makes it all the time.
Wow.
So anyway, fruitcake jokes just feel real tired. That's like just of an earlier age. There's one of the Christmas mornings, or no Christmas morning actually, when they finally complete the cycle and they make it to the 25th. It's nighttime. Like there's no light coming through the windows, and there would be light coming through the windows because the rest of this movie, despite the fact that it's snowing outside, it is like bright California sunshine coming through the window all the time. So that's weird. But mainly, it comes down to why are we punishing the working mom so much throughout this entire movie? And then she is right to be angry at Devin from Love Handles for filming her family without their permission.
Oh, we're getting there for sure.
The whole point of this day is all right, forget the cameras, forget the thing. We're just going to, and I get that the movie has to build up to a thing where she finds the work-life balance. But it's if he had come forward and say, look, I know we said we weren't going to film anything, but I did on the slide just to see how it would go. I think it's really great, and maybe you should consider showing it. But no, he's just thrusting it at her look at what I did. And she's like, how dare you? And then she has to come crawling back and apologize because the footage is so great. No,
absolutely
he's wrong.
not.
You're right. It's not Taylor Swift, and you should not be apologized.
It's one of the worst, like you said, a skosh better on the landing. No, this landing is an actual dumpster fire. Like they land and it just explodes because it is him filming them is not only the biggest wait what, it also is just the most morally questionable thing that happens in this movie that's done for the good of everyone.
And I said when he started doing it, if he's not just making a little video for her, then this is awful. And it's still questionable regardless. But if he just the whole point of it was, I just want to show you how good of a mom you are, then that's better. But she asks him point blank, is this to be posted? And he's like, maybe.
Yeah, I don't
like,
know.
He
Could be.
said yes. He wanted to post it.
Well, it's like, I guess, and you're not wrong, Alonzo. Like, they're punishing her for being a career-minded woman, and that's unfortunate. I just felt like, well, I can get to that later, but this whole thing where somehow she learns, a lesson, but he secretly films her. It's okay, and then it turns out to be economically beneficial for her. I feel like no one learned anything here. Like, no one did.
No, here's the thing. Like, if the real lesson here is like not do whatever it takes to get to $2 million, because that's where she ostracizes the entire family.
That's right.
But if the real lesson is you could actually be better at this influencer gig by being yourself rather than this contrived persona that you've created, that's all well and good. And the fact that she does have that day with everybody and gives them their time and attention and lets them do what they want to do, all that's great. And if that's the lesson here, great. And if that even can translate into making the gig better, also terrific. But the fact that he does it, A, secretly, and then B, presents it to her as a done deal rather than say, like, look, I know I shouldn't have. Would you take a look at this? Maybe we can turn it into something. But no, he just thrusts it at her. She gets mad, and then she has to apologize because, the man was right all along.
Yeah.
I'm like, movie.
That was bad. It was bad.
To be.
Be better, Tubi.
Is that it, Alonzo?
That's it.
I have a couple. One at the end, throughout the whole show that they're doing, which, by the way, what is it that they're doing? It's an all-day live stream.
Yes, it's a takeover for Love Handles on Christmas Eve
with built-in breaks, and they go. I still am a little murky on the details, but the hashtags changed throughout the day. And at the very end, not the end of the movie, I don't care about that. At the end of the day, where they do the lights and the plug, the hashtag they came up with was finale. Hashtag finale.
Nobody's using that.
No one's using it. No one's using it. That's really going to narrow down those searches when you go to that hashtag. The boy fell asleep in his bow tie, but whatever.
I mean, hashtag Love Handles isn't probably going to lend itself to just what you want.
I would say hashtag Love Handles Live is. It could bring up
Some very interesting.
Yes,
that's right.
Now, Alonzo, you watch black and white movies, so maybe you can answer this for me. But they're watching a movie, her and Devin. And
this is a big one for me.
It's black and white, and it's just clips of squirrels.
He knows what it is.
It's a real movie.
Yeah. What is it?
It is. I forget the title of it, but it's a Jimmy Durante Christmas movie that is all about a squirrel. I'm gonna Google it real quick. But that popped up, and I was like, "Oh, that's a deep cut." But it's also public domain. So
I love it. I just said you've never seen these squirrels videos before. these clips. I love these ones.
The Great Rupert from 1950.
The Great Rupert. You remember the Great Rupert? Come on.
I've at least usually heard of Christmas movies. That is not one that I've heard of.
Not in my book, if that makes you feel any better.
Wow. They found the one that's not in your book and they used it. Maybe it's because it's more of a squirrel movie than it is a Christmas movie.
Sort of.
It's more just squirrels doing stuff at Christmas than it is squirrels celebrating Christmas. I just want to show, this is Devin's idea of being stealthy with his camera work. He's just like trying to find out ways to, me? I'm not doing anything.
No one's going to notice that.
No one's. I got an itch up here.
Man, this drink is delightful.
Merry
That's the good
Christmas,
stuff.
everybody.
That's right. Yeah.
And I will say, Devin, poor Devbo, needs a new phone because that quality is just a disaster.
Not great
That is
quality.
not good quality. You know what? There's a lot of hidden recordings in this movie that are, probably shouldn't have done it. But the one that I have the most questions about is, why did you film yourself having a conversation with her son?
Yes.
It doesn't do anything. It doesn't do it. That's a weird thing to record.
Yep.
Everything else is her doing stuff with her family, her kids, and then here's a clip of Devin talking to Hugo without Hugo knowing it's being recorded.
And
He wants in. He wants in on this action.
And that's because, and I want to be clear, Hugo could have painted his face, "Mom, play with me," and she would have ignored it. I'm pretty sure he says it 6 times, and she's like, "Why is Hugo so upset?" Like, bro, just play with your children for once. Please do it.
That's all that I got.
Brand said in Christmas setup that there need to be more Hugos in these movies, so I hope you're happy.
Yep, there it is.
Very happy.
Another
Yeah,
Hugo.
I like this Hugo. Thought Hugo was fine.
I have a lot of problem with the setup of this film, and I want to get this straight. Love handles the brand, which makes like stand mixers and stuff.
Yeah.
On Christmas Eve, they've offered this social media influencer an opportunity to make a lot of money being the whatever's ambassador for Love Handles. But to do so, she has to get 2 million hits or she gets nothing. She gets absolutely nothing for her time. No influencer is taking that gig. No influencer's like, I'm going to do a whole day for 2 million or nothing.
It's a cutthroat world, Dan.
Yeah, clearly it's a cutthroat world. Like, why not just not take the chance and spend your whole Christmas Eve miserable? And then why does it have to be live? Like, social media influencers, like, there's Instagram accounts that are just influencers in the wild, which is just people recording influencers trying to get the perfect post, the perfect video, the perfect shot. It doesn't make any, like, all you have to do is record this until you like it and then post it. I don't understand why the whole thing has to be live.
There's this whole site called TikTok. I don't know if they've heard of it.
Yeah, TikTok is this new thing. It's as Panda would say, it's taken the storm by rage. He said that and we missed it. We were listening back and we didn't give him a hard time about it. So I'm doing it now 2 months later.
Bless.
How much are they paying, Steve? I'm pretty sure it's nothing. But
cookies.
And that leads me to my next one. He wants Pop Rock cookies, and she realizes, like, oh my goodness, I've never done anything nice for Steve. She makes him Pop Rock cookies. Are we to believe she had Pop Rocks laying around the house? Who keeps Pop Rocks?
She has 2 children. It's not entirely out of the question.
Man, if my parents ever brought Pop Rocks home, they never lasted. They never, like, it was a very, very special occasion. It just didn't happen. I think that's it. That's it for me, because you took 2 of my big ones, you took 1. So I think I'm good.
Okay, great. Let's get to the what's that to
To be or not to be.
question where we still have questions and whatnot. Alonzo, what you still wondering about?
Oh man, well, the lead characters in this film basically experience a trauma. They have to go through Christmas Eve over and over and over again, and by the end of it, they fall in love. But oftentimes when people fall in love in stressful situations, it doesn't necessarily translate to their normal day-to-day life. So I just want to see, like, if they can still keep this thing going once they're not being forced to, like, go through this horrible bending of time and space. Now that she has shown her real family to the world and expressed her desire to, be direct with them and not, like, force them to put on a fake act, how soon are they going to be like, oh, we're being real now? I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done. Leave me out of your dumb videos, please. You have to remember that while the 2 leads, Devin and not Taylor Swift, have been going through the Groundhog Day sitch, nobody else has. So as far as her kids are concerned,
right. He's a monster.
She has fallen madly in love with a man that she's known for a day.
That's right. No, three different times the camera goes to a close-up of one of the children, and I just said out loud, "Who's this guy?"
Exactly.
Because that's what they're thinking. Who is this guy that's doing this right now? Why is he in my house? What are you doing in my house?
Love it. Yeah. Hey, Rye. My big one, and it happened when Santa first showed up, I couldn't figure out if he was dirty or not.
Yeah.
He's a little skeevy.
So his beard looks like it's either
they were going for a very, like, authentic Santa.
So my question
experience.
was, once I realized that he is the real
Authentic
Santa,
Santa experience I did see live, and they were wonderful.
phenomenal.
So good.
They do one show a year, Christmas
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. All night.
Eve. Once I realized that he was the real Santa, it got me wondering, is he dirty? Like, is he supposed to, because of the chimneys and whatnot, I couldn't figure out if he was dirty and his suit was dirty,
Yeah,
or
the
if
white on his-
or if the brown mixed in with the white on his suit was a style choice. I couldn't figure it out. So my question is he dirty?
Is he working up a sweat or is he oily? These are two different things.
I still don't know, and that's the question that I have.
The white on his red jacket looked like it had a tinge of like soot
Yes.
on it throughout.
But I don't. But it also looked like it could have just been white fur with some brown mixed into it.
This is
It's-
an easy
Is he dirty?
to be or not to be for me, and it's not is he dirty. They look at an ornament, they're like, oh, this is that trip you and me and your father took, and then somebody said, oh, the daughter says, didn't Dad throw up? And then the mom says, yep, on the Easter Bunny. I just need to know that story. Like, how did we get to that point? Did I miss it, Alonzo?
Well, the name of the place I went to was Holiday World, and there actually is a theme park somewhere in the United States, like an indie theme park that is holiday themed, where every section of the park is a different holiday. So I
did
guess
this guy
if
get
you,
sick from roller coasters, or did he just start drinking early and throw up on the Easter Bunny?
maybe he went on the spinning egg ride.
That's
I
right.
don't know.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Fantastic. We
did
did
it.
it, everybody. Congratulations. Alonzo, do you have any parting wisdom you'd like to leave with the people?
Yeah, I mean, Tubi it's definitely, as streaming services go, it's a freebie, so that's the thing that it has going for it. And if you have a library card, there are two great streaming services to check out that most library systems will give you access to. One is called Canopy with a K, Kanopy, and the other one is Hoopla, Hoopla.
I like
and,
when you say
Hoopla. And yeah, a lot of movies, and Hoopla also has like albums and audiobooks and ebooks and stuff. But Canopy has like they're right up there with like the Criterion Channel is like one of the deepest benches of like art film, foreign film, but also a lot of Hollywood favorites as well. If your library system subscribes to Canopy, get on Canopy. They got great stuff.
Do you think A Squirrely Christmas is on there, whatever it's called?
It might be the Great,
Great
Rupert.
Rupert.
It might
There you
well
go.
be.
Dare to
I love
dream.
it.
Dare to dream. We are covering the Christmas calendar next week. As of this recording, it's also on Tubi as a
Also on
part
Tubi.
of Hot Christmas. I don't know how long Hot Christmas lasts for. Is it just like when the temperature dips, still take them off? Like
I like to think that Hot Christmas lives in our hearts.
that's exactly
right.
right.
Yeah,
So
that's
maybe
right.
it's on Tubi, maybe not. But we're gonna do it. Originally on Up TV, we'll get to it. Until then, may we be the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast. It's presented by Philo TV. It's produced by Brandon Gray and recorded live in, that Greenville, South Carolina. Set decor is by Plum at Haywood Mall. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on Bramble Jam Podcast Network, you can go to bramblejampodcast.com.